Hey guys, today in this video I'll be telling you how to care for a sick or injured crayfish. So by the end of this video you should know exactly what to do. So make sure to watch to the end and let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing is to isolate your crayfish once you recognize that it is sick. So make sure it's in its own tank and not connected to all the other crayfish in case it's got a really contagious sickness, otherwise that will spread to all the other crayfish. And then once you isolate your crayfish, I'd recommend cleaning your tank water once again, because that's probably one of the biggest causes of your crayfish not feeling well or being sick or recovering slower than usual is what's in your tank water. So make sure to clean all that water, make sure it's all good. And then after that, you can start to target that illness or sickness that your crayfish has. If you don't exactly know what kind of sickness or illness or injury your crayfish has, I do have a few videos on my channel which can be pretty helpful. But the things that I'm about to say will also work for most of them altogether, so it will work anyway to help your crayfish feel better. So after you've cleaned out your tank's water, your isolated tank obviously, you can start providing some warmth and comfort for your crayfish just to help it feel a little bit more comfortable, which should hopefully help it heal itself if it can. So the best idea is just to maintain a stable and appropriate temperature in this new quarantine tank. Now normally I wouldn't recommend messing with temperatures and your crayfish because it can cause them to either grow really big or small and affect their lifespan and all that sort of stuff. But when your crayfish is sick, it does really help if you just make it a little bit warmer than it is usually. Nothing over the top, you're not trying to boil your crayfish, but just make it a little bit warmer because that is supposed to help your crayfish just feel a little bit more comfortable and hopefully heal it a little bit more. The next step is to start feeding your crayfish a really good diet, because this will work for almost every kind of sickness or illness unless it's overfeeding, and any kind of conditions. Having a high quality diet should actually help your crayfish get better easier. I mean, it won't always work for shell rot and that sort of stuff, but it really doesn't hurt and it's good for your crayfish in general. So I definitely try to give it more than just pellets, like fresh vegetables, occasional treats like bloodworms, brine shrimp, live feeds, anything, just different kinds of food, so it's getting a little bit more of everything and hopefully getting more of the healthy stuff that it needs. Now the next thing is to reduce things that are stressing out your crayfish. This means like stopping loud noises, aggressive tank mates, sudden changes in lighting, all these things that make your crayfish a bit more freaked out and uncomfortable. This can really make a difference, especially if it's like something that takes a lot of time and your crayfish just needs to rest. Just not annoying your crayfish and like poking it and stuff like that, so that your crayfish actually has time to rest and heal and just not be stressed out by all these things. And the next step is really easy. It's just being patient and observing your crayfish. So what I'd recommend if you think that your crayfish is getting worse over time is to keep detailed records of your crayfish's symptoms, treatment, and all that sort of stuff, so you can see if your crayfish is actually getting worse. So just kind of keeping like a crayfish diary. For example, if you're like this might be hard to do if you have lots of crayfish, because it's hard to like look after them all, but if you just have one crayfish, you can just slowly track how well they're going over time and see if they're actually making progress. Then, once you're doing it, just don't annoy them. Like I said before, just be patient and observant throughout their recovery process. It might take time for your crayfish to like fully recover, so just monitor its progress and make sure to write it down so you can notice if it's actually getting bad. And then after that, if it's really not working, then you're just going to have to consult with some experts. If you're unsure about the best course of action or need additional guidance and you're not sure what kind of medication your crayfish should be taking, you should definitely consult like with somebody who actually knows what they're doing. There's a lot of like experienced aquarists that might have ideas, online forums, vets, and even pet stores might have a good idea. So make sure to talk to somebody, or you can even leave a comment, and if I have time I'll try and get around to it and answer your questions if you're not sure what your crayfish has. The only other advice I can give you is to make sure you offer a gentle current in the water to help improve oxygenation, and target feed your crayfish so that they can get the food easily to them and they don't have to walk around and find it. This should just help your crayfish slowly ease into recovery, and if it gets really serious, it will just help them when they're taking medication or trying to get better. If you're new to this sort of stuff, I definitely recommend watching some of my beginner guides, which will tell you how to keep basic crayfish care and breeding and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, definitely check those out. They're very handy. Alright, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.